You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 176.2, our boys basketball scoreboard for Tuesday night's varsity games in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and Northern Hamilton Counties, with interviews with Frankton head coach Brent Brobston, Alexandria head coach Marty Carroll, Lapel head coach Kevin Cherry, and Anderson Prep assistant coach Mike King.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, basketball fans, to our scoreboard show for Tuesday night's boys basketball games in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and Northern Hamilton Counties. Today is February 12th, 2025. It's a Wednesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Coming to you today from Stage 22 in Elwood. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Coming up, we have scores and highlights from all 12 local games, scores from some of the other regional teams, and all four classes' top 10s. And we'll have interviews with Frankton head coach Brent Brobston, Alexandria head coach Marty Carroll, Lapel head coach Kevin Cherry, and Anderson Prep assistant coach Mike King, all coming off wins on Tuesday night. Before we get to that, I'm going to implore you one more time to please go like, subscribe, or follow us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or YouTube so you don't miss a single segment. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report. Easy to find. Also, we released 5 boys basketball segments and 1 girls basketball segment today. Please check those out. On Thursday and Friday, we expect to have a wrestling semi-state preview, girls swimming state finals preview, a local girls basketball preview show, and a CIC boys championship game preview. Will Rutherford's 5 questions that need answers, and Hanson Crafton's combat sports report, all in the next couple of days. Busy time for the Central Indiana Sports Report. We start with Tuesday's scores from around the area, the region, and in the top 10s. Oak Hill beat Western 64-51. Balanced Blackford beat Westdale 78-56. It was Pendleton Heights 53, Mississinawa 48 in a crazy finish. Frankton won his 6th straight game, 58-44 over Wabash. Alexandria defeated Burris 60-41. It was Elwood 46, Southern Wells 40. Shenandoah got past Madison Grant 61-53. 2A number 11 Lapel won its 8th game in a row, beating 2A number 13 Taylor 59-43. 4A number 11 Noblesville won its 10th game in a row with a 66-59 win over 4A number 3 Anderson. The loss snaps Anderson's 12-game winning streak. 3A number 2 Cathedral won its 6th in a row, 88-62 at Liberty Christian. Anderson Prep is 13-5 after a 71-52 win over Knightstown. Marion upset number 6 Warsaw 70-64 for its 3rd straight win. 2A number 2 Wapahani improved to 17-1 overall and 5-0 in the Mid-Eastern Conference with its 3rd straight win, 49-43 over Eastern Hancock. And Cowan beat Union City 79-56. 2A number 2 Greenfield Central is 18-2 after beating Franklin Central 64-40. It was 3A number 4 New Pal 66, 3A number 3 Garin Catholic 51. Huge win for the Dragons, who are now 19-2. Mount Vernon came from behind to beat Pike in overtime 66-58. Hamilton Southeastern 66, Metropolitan 50. Mechanical won at Carroll 77-68. And Joe Luce's Tippecanoe Valley Vikings beat North Miami 49-44. We go around the state and look at the top teams in Indiana and how they fared. Of course, we have already mentioned the local ranked teams, so I will not be mentioning them again. In Class 4A, number 9 Crown Point beat Andrean 81-65. It was 4A number 13 South Bend Riley 57, to 47 over Columbia City. In Class 3A, number 1 Brownstown Central, the defending Class 2A state champion, is 17-0 after beating Jennings County 82 to 54. 3A number 8 Northwood got by West Noble 72 to 42. It was 3A number 9 Blackhawk 71 to 62 over Snyder. And in Class 2A, Fort Wayne South upset number 4 Lure 72 to 64. Number 5 Linton Stockton beat Revay 68 to 21. It was number 8 Northeastern 45 Union County 39. Number 10 Forest Park beat Perry Central 52 to 49. And number 13 Paoli beat up on Salem 71 to 44. Lots of them in Class A. It was number 2 Orleans 66 to 27 over Eastern Pekin. Number 4 Hauser 80 to 41 over Indiana Math and Science. Bar Reeve beat Northeast Du Bois 48 to 44 in overtime. Number 10 Washington Township held off Tri-County 71 to 65. It was number 11 Triton 35, Trinity Greenlawn 18. In Class A, number 12 Christian Academy beat Henryville 70 to 28. I like an awful lot of coaches. There may not be one I like more than Christian Academy's Hayden Casey. Class A, number 13 Wood Memorial beat Evansville Christian 53 to 50. To our local game highlights, Oak Hill beat Western 64 to 51 for the program's 900th win all time. It was the 297th win for Coach Kevin Renbarger. Almost a third of the program's wins were won under Kevin Renbarger. What a remarkable coach he is. Oak Hill is now 12-4, having won 7 of their last 8. They're actually 10-2 in their last 12. Junior R.J. Sugar scored 12 of his 21 points in the pivotal fourth quarter. Sophomore Jace Tonigal had 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Oak Hill is at 12-7 Blackford on Friday for the CIC Championship. Hope to have a preview on that game coming up very soon. Western is now 10-9 and was led by junior Carter Biggs with 20 points and 5 assists. Senior Sam Thurston had 15 points and 6 rebounds, and senior Hudson Biggs 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Western hosts 9-8 Peru on Saturday. And Blackford beat Delta 78 to 56 to improve to 12-7. Blackford was balanced with senior Jacob Lease scoring a season-high 22 points. Senior Gage Baker had 21, freshman Mari Leggett 17, and junior Mason Kitterman 13 in the win. Again, Blackford hasn't won a CIC championship this century, strangely enough, and has a chance to do so on Friday at home against Oak Hill. Westdell is 7-11 and hosts 8-7 Eastbrook on Friday. Frankton won its 6th game in a row, 58 to 44 at home against winless Wabash. The Eagles were led by 20 points from Brady Carmack. He scored 10 of those points in the first quarter as the Eagles got off to a good start. Senior Joey Wright scored 15 and sophomore Trey Bennett had 12. Big CIC game for Frankton as well on Friday as they go to 8-9 Mississinawa. I spoke with Frankton head coach Brent Brobston following the win over Wabash. All right, Coach, another win. They seem to be piling up at this point.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're playing well and playing well at the right time. And I think that we are gelling at the right time and things are headed in the right direction. So pretty happy with where we're at.
Yeah, it's one thing to see progress. It's another thing to get some wins. And how much do you think starting to build this momentum is going to help you?
No, I think it's great for our team, great for our confidence. And, we beat some good teams along the way, and it's a good run we've put together here. We got another tough one Friday night up at Mississinawa, but yeah, it's good. It's good for our kids, good for their confidence, and we've been real happy with where we're heading.
Brady got you off to a really nice start last night, didn't he?
He did. He hit a couple big threes early, had a steal early. His effort's just relentless, and that's kind of something we talked about with him last night, is just continuing the effort that he's giving us day in and day out on the court. And he may make a mistake here or there, but the bottom line is that kid's heart and how hard he plays is
Yeah,
there every single night.
absolutely. And also, it looks like you're starting to get more consistency from Javon Miller, another senior on your team. Yeah, things are starting to look like they're coming together.
Yeah, Javon's playing exceptionally well. He had a nice game for us last night. We just got a lot of trust in him and what he can do off the bench for us. And Blake Nickham's really come along for us too off the bench, and we feel like we've added some depth there as well. So those things have been good for us, and I think we're starting to figure out what direction we're heading.
Alexandria improved to 6-13 with a 61-40 win at Burris on Tuesday. The Tigers led 21-6 at the end of the first quarter. They were led by 14 points from sophomore Connor Kettery, 13 from sophomore Bryson Eckler, and 11 from junior Brady Gast. Junior Mason Fuller, sophomore Jackson Brizendine, and freshman Cam McAtee scored 6 points apiece in the win. Alexandria hosts 6-10 Madison Grant in another big CIC game on Friday. On Tuesday evening, I spoke with Alexandria head coach Marty Carroll about the win on Tuesday and his team's progress. Another win tonight, Coach. Feel like your team is starting to play with some of the potential you expected early in the season?
I think we're growing up a little bit, maybe, and um, played better the last couple times out. So hopefully we're heading the right direction.
Yeah, won your last two, and the game before that played pretty well against Lapel. I mean, much better than the first time around. So seems like, especially as a young team, sometimes those young teams can improve really fast.
Uh, yeah, and um, we're getting to the point where the freshmen are sophomores and the sophomores are
Right.
juniors. So and the juniors are seniors. They've all played enough games that they should be ahead of where we were in the beginning of the year with not a whole lot of experience. And some of those kids had played, so they've played in some varsity games, but it's one thing to be the fifth option in a varsity game and
Right.
being the, first, second, third option. So that's an adjustment for kids too.
Looks like you're had plenty of options tonight. 6 different guys with 6 points, 7 different guys with at least 4. Had to like to see it. Had to like that.
Right. And that's what we shoot for. I'm not a big one guy scores all the points. I'd like to spread it around. The thought process behind that is 5 guys on the floor are a lot harder to guard than 1 or 2. And so that's the way that we set things up and how we try to run offense. And some of that is you got to find where kids got to find where in the offense that they should be looking to score, or their teammates look for them to score. So that all takes time too.
Big game this Friday, and then of course the next Friday against Frankton. You got Madison Grant this Friday, starting to build some momentum. What are you hoping to see between now and the end of February?
We're hoping that we can ride this a little bit. Maybe the kids play with more confidence and just kind of, it's funny too, how the schedules line up. I thought we lost a couple games early in the year that maybe we could have won or had chances to win at least, and then there are again games that are just going to be really, we're going to be tough for us to win, and that's proven true. And we're coming down the stretch, and if we play well, I think we could be in those games. So we'll see if the momentum continues.
And proving you can win away from home. That's nice to see.
Yeah, we've done that twice in a row now, so it feels like most of our games have been on the road, which we've played more on the road than we have at home. And
Yeah.
uh, I I agree with you. I thought we played pretty well the Lapel game. Um, I actually feel like we played well for a while in the Oak Hill game, and
That's right.
so
Yeah.
I mean I see improvement. It's just sustaining that, and um, our biggest problem I think is just uh, it's not an excuse, but we're just size wise, with really good teams, it just hurts us in the paint, and we've been outscored in the paint most of the year. So, but you can't do anything about that,
No, you can't. And there's
you know.
plenty of good times ahead for Alexandria Tiger fans because, man, you got some good young ones. I'm really impressed with how heady Eckler's becoming and a
Yep,
lot of good young players.
yep. We feel like we do.
Burris is now 1-16 after its fifth straight loss. Seniors Tyler Bennett and Gavin Mitchell scored 12 apiece in the loss. Sophomore Matthew Hardy had 9. Burris is at 3-10 Union on Thursday. Elwood won on back-to-back nights, beating Southern Wells 46-40 at home on Tuesday. The Panthers are now 4-13 on the season. They had 4 players with at least 9 points, led by sophomore Jackson Gordon's 10. Junior Corbin Level made 3 threes and finished with 9. Juniors Bryce Schuler and Braden Etchison scored 9 each, and junior Cam Gallegos finished with 5. Elwood host 14-6 Providence Cristo Rey on Saturday. I did a full report on the Elwood victory earlier on Wednesday on the Central Indiana Sports Report. Please go check that one out. Shenandoah outscored Madison Grant 21-11 in the fourth quarter to pull away for a 63-51 home win over Madison Grant on Tuesday. The Argyles are now 6-10 on the season, but they are starting to get tremendous play from junior Brock Barnhart. Had his second big game in a row. Second game in a row with 5 3-pointers and had a season-high 27 points in the loss. He scored all 11 Argyle points in the fourth quarter. Senior Ike Almeida added 10, and senior Luke Gilman finished with 9 for the Argyles, who go to 6-13 Alexandria on Friday. Shenandoah is now 11-6. They were led by senior center Cannon Case's game-high 16 points. Junior Jackson Hellman and junior Aiden Coffey both scored 13, and junior Garrett May finished with 10. Shenandoah has a tough one on Friday when they host 14-5 Lapel. Cooper Sims was fouled shooting a 3-pointer at the buzzer. His free throws and a couple of technical foul free throws piled on gave Pendleton Heights a 53-48 win at Mississinewa on Tuesday. The Arabians were led by 21 points from Evan Mazingo. Sims finished with 12. Senior Joe Estes had 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. And junior Ishan Singh finished with 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Pendleton Heights is 7-10 and is at 8-11 Whiteland on Saturday. Mississinewa was led by a double-double from senior Keontae Woods. He had 14 points and 12 rebounds. Also, a big game from senior Tyvon Jacobs, who had 13 points. Freshman Ravion Fetz was finished with 10. He was 5 for 8 from the field and 2 for 3 from behind the three-point arc. Grant Schaus of the Action Sports Network called after the game to give a full report of Pendleton's win over Mississinewa. That was released Wednesday morning. Please go find that one. 2A number 11 Lapel won its 8th game in a row, beating 2A number 13 Taylor 59-43 at Taylor. Lapel is now 14-5 on the season. Senior Bodie Judge had 28 points in the win. Senior Brody Judge and junior Luke Jones scored 11 each. Lapel is at 11-6 Shenandoah on Friday. I spoke with Lapel head coach Kevin Cherry following the win. All right, Coach, not only 8 wins in a row, but you're starting to stack up some quality wins, too. Another one tonight.
Yeah, that was a big time challenge at Taylor tonight, and they are good. I mean, they're athletic, and number 12 poses a matchup problem for a lot of teams, and we played a little more zone tonight than I anticipated coming into that game, but Bodie got a quick foul, and I thought maybe this was a way we could maybe hide him just a little bit here in the first half to get him through without maybe picking up a second one, and we were fortunate enough that he didn't. And I thought our zone was pretty active. Their best three-point shooter coming into the game, we held him to just 1 3 on the night. And so we did a good job of guarding the three-point line and then rebounding the basketball out of the zone. Proud of our guys for that effort. But Bodie was a monster tonight. He ends up with 28 points, and I don't know how many rebounds. I'm sure it's going to be a double-double. And when they got in foul trouble, they didn't have an answer for him. And no offense to them, they tried some different things, going offense for defense and going small on him. And we just had enough poise and composure to be patient offensively so we could get him the ball in a spot where he could take advantage of his size and athleticism. Starting to see some signs of a really good team, aren't you? Yeah, I mean, I think we can be really good. It's just I don't know if I've mentioned this to you or not, but one of my hokey things that we talk about is just being consistently great. And I took this up from some college coach that I saw on social media, but like when you go to McDonald's, whether McDonald's in Lapel or Florida or wherever, that cheeseburger is consistently great. You go see Kenny Chesney in concert in Indianapolis or Nashville, he's always great. And so we're just trying to be consistently great every time out. Now, sometimes that translates to wins and sometimes it doesn't, but I really like where we're starting to go in terms of having thought, having purpose, recognizing time and situation, looking at different matchups and how can we exploit those matchups. And the guys are starting to do that, organically within the flow of the game. It's not where we're calling timeouts or running a bunch of sets. I probably ran as few sets these last 6 games as I have in any 6-game stretch since I've been coaching. But our guys are starting to understand what we're wanting to try to accomplish. And, as a coach, that's always exciting when you get guys to buy in and understand your system and your philosophy and what you're trying to do. Kenny Chesney was the best you could come up with, Coach? Well, I use that for you here in the podcast. I thought that may be better received. Beyonce is who I use with our players. Oh, okay. Wow. You must be young. I'm 48 years young. All right, Coach. Obviously Brody and Bodie tonight both had really big games, but to see consistent play more and more from a lot of your kids, that's got to be something you're love seeing. Yeah, it is. Luke Jones, I think, plays at a pretty high level. He was in some foul trouble in that first half, so he had to sit just a little bit. But Owen Garber came in off the bench and was great in his minutes. Quade Hall came in off the bench and gave us a spark defensively, and then offensively he does some things where he can drive it and create for others. Our freshman Liam Coe didn't get a lot of minutes tonight, but he's still a guy that we're really high on, and we'll need him in the sectional to hopefully make a deep run, and he's a big part of that. But our practices are competitive. They're spirited. Tyler Cash tonight comes in, and he's a guy that can shoot the basketball for us and stretch the defense. Brody picks up a second foul, midway through that second quarter, so he had to sit for 4 or 5 minutes, and Tyler was good. Even though he didn't score, he's a guy that teams recognize as being able to shoot it, and then, of course, that benefits Bodie, so you got to kind of pick your poison there a little bit when he's in the game also. But, yeah, happy with our team, but it doesn't get any easier. Friday we go to Shenandoah. I watched them play Tipton live this last Saturday, and they got off to a somewhat slow start, but after they weathered that storm, they were able to kind of keep that game within range and end up cutting it back to 10. It's a nice team, yeah. Yeah, they're good and well coached, and Shenandoah is historically a gymnasium. We're passionate fans, good crowd, and a good atmosphere, and that'll be a good contest for us, a good challenge, and it's one that we look forward to just as competitors. But again, it's all just continue to try to get ready for the tournament, and that's what it's all about. We talk about winning every game, but that's not the sole mission right now. The sole mission is evaluate how we did tonight. Where do we need to clean it up, and let's try to get better, win or lose. Take a step forward on Friday night.
Taylor's now 13-5 and has lost 4 straight against 4 really good teams. They are at 8-10 Tri-Central for a Hoosier Heartland Conference contest on Friday. 4A number 11, Noblesville had to hold off 4A number 3, Anderson, for a 66-59 win on Tuesday. The win ends Anderson's 12-game winning streak. Noblesville has now won 10 games in a row. Anderson is 16-2 on the season. They were led by 18 points from senior Damian King, who was in foul trouble almost the entire first half. He scored 16 of his 18 points after halftime. Freshman Don Bowling had 14, and senior Javon Winfield finished with 13. For Anderson, which hosts 7-9 Indianapolis, Washington on Friday. For 15 and for Noblesville, junior guard Barron Walker had a game-high 27 points. Noblesville hosts Brownsburg on Friday. Anderson Prep won its 13th game of the season on Tuesday, 71-52 over Knightstown. The Jets have won 3 games in a row. They had 4 players in double figures, with senior Marcus McLean having a game-high 21 points. He also had 3 steals. Senior Lincoln Fathauer scored 18. Senior Zamarian Bryant had 16. And senior Cameron Anderson had 13 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds in the win. Anderson Prep hosts 6-12 Bethesda Christian in the Pioneer Conference playoffs on Friday. I spoke with Anderson Prep assistant coach Mike King following another Jets win. 13 wins for the Anderson Prep Jets. Welcome back to the Central Indiana Sports Report, Coach King. Another big win.
Yeah, we we didn't play well for 32 minutes, but we played well when it mattered, and I guess that's what matters.
And got a lot of good performances again tonight. Marcus McLean leading the way with 21 points. But got
Yeah,
a lot of help from a lot of different guys tonight.
yeah. When I talked to Coach Cook before the game, um, it's just such a change from years past, where we can legitimately say we got some guys we can run out there that just know how to play basketball. And they're smart. They play well together. They're unselfish. And so it's certainly makes it easier. I don't know if it's ever easy, but it's easier. And it's tougher for opposing teams because, at any given time, we can run somebody out there and get 20.
And Marcus and Lincoln looks like they just took over in the third quarter.
They did, yeah. Marcus was as good as he's been all year, and for him, it started on the defensive end. We haven't statted it yet, but I can assure you, it's probably the had more deflections, had his hand on the ball defensively more tonight than probably any game we've had, and those deflections and turnovers can lead to points, and he just wasn't going to be denied tonight.
You're talking about different expectations for your program. I mean, it's hard not to harp on it at times, but the program record was 6. Now you're at 13. Incredible year for you guys. And looking at the schedule, Coach, you guys could really get on a roll heading into the postseason.
Yeah, that's our goal. We continually talk about, of course we talk about the other team and we do our scouting reports and all that other stuff, but we also talk about playing ourselves. What is it that we can do to get better at individually and as a group? And you're right. Like everywhere we go, somebody's giving us a compliment, and that's great. It really is, and it's 100% due to the kids and what they've done.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you so much for your time once again, and look forward to talking to you as you build up those wins.
Hey, no problem. We appreciate it.
And good luck by the way, to the Jets girls basketball team, Coach. You guys share a gym with them. Pretty exciting for them.
Yeah, it's a banner year for APA basketball, that's for sure,
That
boys
is
and
for
girls.
sure.
I am exceedingly happy for Coach Josh Fathour
Right.
and the girls. They have all the credit, and good for them. I hope they go get another one.
Me too. Thanks so much, Coach. 3A number 2 Cathedral beat Liberty Christian 88-62 in Indianapolis. It's the 7th straight win for Cathedral and the 3rd straight loss for Liberty Christian. The Lions are now 11-8. They were outscored 44-22 in the second half. Liberty Christian hosts 6 and 10 Park Tudor for the PAAC Championship on Friday night. Cathedral is 15-4 and had several good performances. Junior Keaton Aldridge had 16.6 rebounds and 5 steals. Senior Brady Kohler had 15 points. Junior Julian Smith, 14. And sophomore Owen Patterson finished with 13 points and 9 rebounds. Marion upset Class 4A number 6 Warsaw 70-64 at Bill Green Arena on Tuesday night. It's the 3rd straight win for Marion, and it ended Warsaw's 11-game winning streak. The Giants are now 9-8. They outscored Warsaw 22-6 over the final 5 minutes of the second quarter and led 39-30 at the half. Senior Mari Rogers and junior Tim Jones scored 16 points apiece to lead Marion. Junior Logan Barnes had 12, freshman Manu Jackson 7. Seniors Tusi Jackson and Kobe Johnson scored 6 points apiece for the Giants, who host 13-4 Mount Vernon on Friday. Warsaw is now 17-4. I spoke with Scott Hunt of the Marion Chronicle about the Giants' big win over Warsaw. I released that early Wednesday morning. Please go find that one. It was Class 2A, number 2, Wapahani 49, Eastern Hancock 43. Wapahani is now 5-0 in the Mid-Eastern Conference after their 3rd straight win. Senior Nate Luce had 14 points and 10 rebounds. Junior Eli Andrews finished with 13 points. Senior Brock Zickgraf had 9. Senior Logan Wolf 8. And junior Camden Bell finished with 5 points and 5 rebounds. The Raiders host 12-5 Monroe Central in another MEC contest on Friday. Eastern Hancock is now 10-7. The loss ends their 4-game winning streak and any hope of winning the conference championship. Cowan won its 3rd game of the season with a 79-56 win over Union City. Cowan shot 55% in the win and had 3 players combined for 68 points. Sophomore Brody Clifford had 27 points. He was 10 for 14 from the field and 2 for 3 from deep. Junior Luke Garrett finished with 23 points and 6 rebounds. He was 9 for 14 from the field and made 5 of his 9 3-point attempts. And junior Lucas Terrell, 18 points, 7 of 11 from the field, 4 of 7 from deep. Senior Gentry Groves finished with 5 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. The Blackhawks host 5-9 Randolph Southern on Friday. Union City is now 4-11. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana boys basketball from Tuesday night. Thanks so much to Brent Brobston, Marty Carroll, Kevin Cherry, and Mike King for joining to talk to you about their teams. Of course, we always appreciate them. And we appreciate you listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please go like, subscribe, or follow us on your favorite platform so you don't miss a single segment. And it would help us out a bunch if you would tell a friend. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.